Welcome back everyone to your favorite low quality Battle Nations YouTuber. Now normally this series is based on a vote. Everyone votes on what they want to see next, but this goes to show you that this is about us. You know who you are. This has been requested specially multiple times, so today we're going to review the Big Game Hunter. Alright, let's kick it off by looking at this unit's two attacks. The first one is his little gun, BAM! That man has 70% armor piercing. It does a decent amount of damage. Most importantly, it has a 100% crit chance against critters. And his net attack, which is in a 3x3 area, it has significantly less damage, significantly less armor piercing, but obviously you're attacking in a pretty wide range, and once again 100% crit chance against critters. So if you're guessing that this unit's matchups are only good against critters, you're kind of correct, but also think about this. He's good against those mammoth riders in the raider encounters, and those units can be pretty resilient. So for the fact that he can have good crit chance and some armor piercing against them, he can get the job done even at level 65, I feel. Not for every encounter though. Now my biggest pet peeve about this unit is you unlock him a little earlier. I can't remember, it's like level 44 or something, but you only actually get him after level 50 when you complete the quest line for the Ridgy Ditch, which is the first time you're seeing the Emperor Sandworms. And he doesn't do good against that unit, unfortunately, but he can hold his ground against level 65 Sandworm encounters, and I think that's saying something about this unit. Now you could argue, hey, look at your own clip, he's dying to the Sandworm Spit attack. And to that I'm going to tell you, most units are going to do that. Sandworms are very freaking strong, very annoying. The fact that he can hold his ground against units that are 15 levels higher than when you technically unlock him, I think that's kind of special. And I only say kind of special because yes, technically he's supposed to be good against critters. So while the expectation is there, the level gap is also there, so I think that balances out. Now I want to talk about this unit's other good matchup, and it might surprise you, but it's actually heavy armored vehicles. Super tanks, mega tanks, any kind of tanks, high armor, high health, he actually does pretty decently against, and it's because of that armor piercing and the fact that he does a good amount of damage. The net attack though, not so much there. It only has 15% armor piercing, but when you're using his main attack, it does decently. It's nothing crazy, but it is still a good matchup in my opinion. It's balanced. And I want to bring up one last thing before we switch on to, I guess, the cons of this unit. And that's stun lock. So this unit can stun lock, but it's not as common. And if you do stun a unit, it's only going to last one turn, and it's just going to be attacking you again right away. So with units that typically have freeze and stun, it's not like that. Those units, it'll stun it for 3 turns, like something that lasts a little longer. You're not going to get that out of this unit. You can stun lock, but you're going to have to keep using his attacks, just constantly cycling, and it's a maybe. So not optimal to be doing that, but it is technically possible. Now let's look at what I would call the downsides to this guy. And when you look at him, immediately you will realize 250 health is not a whole lot of health, especially for a nanopod unit. And he only has a little bit of defense against crushing attacks and fire attacks. And it's nothing special, like having 25% resistance, that's nothing. Defensively, he's not all bad. From my personal experience, a lot of units were hitting gray attacks against him. And if you don't know what that is, it's just it shows up gray, it does significantly less damage. I don't know if this unit has like really good defense or dodge or something, but most of the times when a unit should have finished him off, it actually doesn't. So his survivability, it's not all bad. He has something going for him. I also want to include his bad matchups here. And it kind of shocked me, but he doesn't do good against the artillery units that are like typically in the back of the rebel encounters. They don't have armor, they don't have a lot of health, but he does not do good against them regardless of which. But worse yet, he doesn't do good against enemy infantry units. If you're trying to use his dart gun or his net attack, he does some damage, but it doesn't get the job done. Most of the time they're not getting stunned, they're able to fire back, and if he's in the front line, which you usually don't want to put this unit in, they wipe him out. But speaking of where you should put this unit, I find it best that you put him in the middle lane, which is where most units go. He doesn't do too good in the front because he's just taking too much damage, he doesn't have the health for it, but if you put him in the very back line, just too many things become out of reach. His dart gun's only able to hit the front row, and his net can barely reach the second row, and that's only because of the square attack that it is. You still have to target the front row with that attack. He only reaches 3 tiles out. Before we get into the final rating of this unit, I want to talk about his repair cost. I don't think I did that, and this is a very important aspect to every unit. His repair cost is not bad at all. It's like a little bit of iron and gold, and it takes 27 minutes, something like that, for a max advanced hospital. And while the amount of resources might increase just a little bit for a normal hospital, it's not like you're paying bars or anything for him, and it might take just a little bit more time. That's not so bad, really. So I sincerely believe that the fact that he doesn't have the best survivability, he does have an okay amount, but his repair cost nicely complements when he does go down in battle. So now, since we've had a good look at this unit all around, I believe that he belongs in the just average category. He would be in the strong category, but just like the Mammoth Artillery, he's a nanopod unit, and that kind of holds him back. And when you unlock him, enemy units are getting pretty strong. He can hold his ground against those critters, those worms, those mammoth riders and tanks, but those are his matchups. Anything outside of that, he doesn't really do good against. He's not a weak unit by any means, and he's not very strong for his cost. So I think that this ranking here is justified. The one thing that I didn't really touch up on is PvP, and I think he's just going to do average here. Nothing super special going on. He might be able to stun lock your opponent, which would be annoying. Now, under normal circumstances, this episode would be over, but I want to add something from here going forth for my Rank 6 review series, and that's a quick little discussion at the end as to how to tweak this unit, make them more balanced and better for the future. For the big game hunter, I would make him a free-to-play unit, or I would tweak him to deal more damage to critter units. My idea was kind of like a percentage based damage. The more health an enemy critter has, the more damage he can deal against that critter. And yeah, that's it. I would love to hear how you would balance out this unit. Guys, did I give this unit its justice? Did I justify my rating for this unit? I would love to hear all these things in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one.